Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Farming Valley. So, since the last episode, it's been a couple days since last episode. I've done some harvest. Actually today, game day, I just harvested, all the turnips came in and the strawberries. So, we'll probably be sitting close to 500,000 after today, I'm hoping. I also did quite a bit of mining. I got some iron, which, speaking of, let me pop over and get that stuff smelting up. Because I had it grinding up. I did a bit of mining. It's super quick with this Maddock, so fast. And today I want to start working towards getting our steel automated. Now, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to fully automate it before we automate, iron coming in, because it's still going to be just semi-automated. I'm not for sure if I'll set it up for full automation yet or not. I know this episode we also need to... charcoal, there we go. Alright, so that's running. But I'm not for sure how we're going to do it, because we do have other stuff we have to cover today, get into. By the way, I did run by Granny Catlin's yesterday. Yeah, it was on Friday. And I got another bed, another sleeping mat. So anyways, if we pop up to the factory, first up, I want to build out the second floor. I want to start building this out because, of course, our steel automation is going to be setting up on the second floor. Not to mention, once we get the second floor put in, we can start rewiring and cleaning a lot of this stuff up, which is going to be nice because we're going to have, the cable connections connect up to the bottom of the floor. So we're going to go ahead and start with that first up. And to do so, let's pop down to the storage building. First up, I'm going to want a bunch of treated wood planks, because not all of it is going to be treated wood planks, but the area that's eventually going to have the factory control room is going to be treated wood planks. So we're going to go ahead and build that out first. And what we're going to do, and actually I guess, I've been debating if I want the wireframe or if I want scaffold up here. This may all change to scaffold. The only thing that might hold me back from that, I'm not 100% sure if we can chisel and bit this to make stairs. Would be the main thing, because I'm going to need stairs kind of coming up this. So I'll probably try that in just a minute. Alright, but let's go ahead and we're going to lay out the control room and how this is going to be set up. And it's going to have to be decent sized. Doesn't have to be huge, but it does have to be decent sized because we are going to have a lot of control features in it. Honestly, I'm actually leaning towards like longer and narrow. And I might actually bring this floor back a little bit and start it a little bit farther back and have it run out to where these beams are. So like right in here. And then that way the beams kind of make a good divider point. And then we can have our blast furnaces right there. I'm planning on 2 blast furnaces. I'm going to use the improved blast furnaces, I think. And that's due to the fact that, yeah, the arc furnace is faster, but of course then you suffer from the fact that in this version you can't auto input your rods. So it kind of puts a little bit of a downer on the arc furnace, I think. And then if we ran this back to here, let's say, I'd say that would be a decent size for the control room for all of our different switches for this factory building. Maybe a little bit farther out, possibly. Yeah, because I think that would be a little bit tight for the stuff that I want in there. So maybe have it come out to the next beam support. So like right in there. That might be a little bit more realistic. So we have a nice little area. And then, of course, we're going to have all of our levers up here to control it. And I was doing some thinking, and I think for the steel, I'm going to have just a lever that you can pull, and I'm going to use a dropping conveyor belt and a piston to kind of control that. And what I'm thinking is you can pull it and say, if I want steel or I want iron. Maybe. Or we might just... actually, I've got some scaffolds around here. I want to test that chisels and bits really, really quick. I actually don't think that these can be chisel and bitted. But I could be wrong, so... No, they cannot be... They cannot be chisel and bitted, so we are going to stick with the wireframe, I guess. Or maybe... Ugh, that's a lot of chisels and bits, but what we might do, actually, is take steel. Once we have steel running, I'll probably start with wireframe actually, and then a little bit later on, when I can get in there and I have some time, I will probably chisel and bit a floor, like our own custom floor or our own custom stairs or something like that for it. So that might be the route that we take. Let me actually grab this. Let me do the floor up there as scaffold, in fact. Just because I think it would look a bit better. And we're going to use the scaffold with the flooring above it. So let's get a bit more of this scaffolding. There's 33 pieces. That'll be good to start with, and we can kind of see what we think. Yes. And it's really not going to be too expensive. I mean, we're using steel all over the place. Might as well use it up here too. But what we can do, we can chisel this and get this steel scaffolding that has like the actual floor block on it. And I believe this is connected texture. Yes, awesome. And then kind of what I'm thinking is we're going to have, let's see, this will be the control room. And we're going to have a wall that runs along the edge of that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this stuff out. And let me actually pull up all these treated wood planks here. Mainly just those, actually. And then we'll have this kind of come through. And we'll go ahead and plot out around this real quick. And the walkway that kind of runs through here is only going to be about 2 wide, but I want some narrow walkways that kind of come up through here. And of course, that's not going to be nearly enough scaffolding. Not even close. That's fine. That's okay. I should probably prioritize getting this room put in first, I think. So what we're going to do is, let's see, let me get just a bit more of the steel scaffold. About as much as I can make at the moment. I do have a little bit more steel that's been made, so if I need it, I can always go grab that. Now, I'm also going to want to frame in where our blast furnaces are going to go. I'm going to want some hempcrete, I think is what I'm going to use. And I'm pretty sure I have some of that lying around. I'm just not for sure where. There's actually some steel right here, too. I will admit, I have been super scatterbrained with the factory because we have so much stuff going on here. But soon we'll be able to clean all this up. I think it's, yeah, right here. Okay. Alright. Because I have all these chests that are kind of like just working chests, like, you know, what I'm working with at the time. So, it creates a little bit of a mess, so please excuse it. Alright. And then this is going to frame in around that area. Like so. Which means all this cobblestone is going to need to go soon. That's fine. That's fine. We'll get that cleaned up. What we'll do, let's come out to about right there. So we're right on the back end of that coke oven. And then what we'll do, we'll put in our hempcrete around that. Honestly, I think a 3x3 should be fine because the improved blast furnace has, you know, it's not actually like a solid like 3x3. It's like rounded. So I think if we did like that, I think that'll be good. And let's go ahead and set up our first blast furnace, actually. Our first improved blast furnace. So we can kind of get a feel for it and see what we think about the placement. And then we're going to have to put preheaters in and all of that. And run power up to it and all that fun stuff. But I was doing some thinking, and I think this will be fine as opposed to the arc furnace. The arc furnace is nice, and I love it for manual stuff, but for automated stuff, it kind of suffers, I feel like. Alright, let's pull this thing out. We will no longer need the blast furnace in here. Woot. Which means we have space now. If I brought that back a little bit, we could put in an arc furnace. So we might put an arc furnace in here for manual smelting, because it is very, very quick. Okay, so, let's see. We're going to have to... Oh, I might be low on steel. Yeah, because we're going to need 27 steel plates. I could pull it off, actually. And then once we get this improved blast furnace up, we can easily make additional plates. So I think that'll be... Or additional steel, so I think that'll be fine. And actually, we have one piece of steel in here. Some steel rods. I do not have any steel plates. Okay. Well, we'll get those running. And then in addition, let's take a look at our engineer's manual and see what all we're going to need. The heavy machinery, improved blast furnace, this right here. We're also going to need a hopper, and that's it. It's pretty straightforward and simple. So while that's running, let's pop over to the storage building. Let me go grab that iron that I got smelting earlier. And I probably have hoppers up at the factory now that I think about it, but that's fine. That's okay. And let's take a look at the preheater. We are going to want 2 of these. Can it? I can't remember. I think 2 is the max. I don't think you can put one on the back. So we're going to need external heater and iron sheet metal, which I might have iron sheet metal. I'm not for sure. And this thing is super cheap. I have everything up at the factory. Okay, I have 1 piece of iron sheet metal. That's not going to cut it, so. And there's 2 pieces here, but still not enough to really do much with. That's fine. I've got iron now. I've got a decent amount of iron anyways. So there's our 2 external heaters. And we're going to have to make another set of this. I'm going to start with 1 because I have the blast bricks and I have the steel and I have all that stuff for 1. I don't really have enough to pull off 2 right this second. But once we get this thing set up, we'll have enough, I'd say. And these preheaters are what you pump power into to make this whole system run. So, okay, iron plates. Let's get our iron sheet metal. And that should be enough with the leftovers that I've got. And we'll grab that. And let's go ahead and make our reinforced blast bricks. And then over here, let's grab that iron sheet metal. And we should be able to craft our 2 preheaters. And then we'll just pop back up to the factory. Kind of excited for this. Kind of excited for it. Okay, so our reinforced blast bricks. Bam, 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 bam. And we just lay this out as a solid 3x3 again, just like the standard blast furnace. Oh yeah, I forgot the hopper on top. I was like, wait a second, this isn't for me. Oh, you can tell I don't build these things as often. I usually go with the arc furnace or something. But I think it's going to be perfect for our needs. Okay, so there we go. That's what we're looking at. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this out. And we'll pump in a... there we go. Rotate it so it feeds into the side. And we'll put a preheater right there. And then we'll do the same thing over on this one. Put that there. Set up our preheater and right-click to rotate. Okay, so that's set up. Then we're going to need to set up power and plug power up into this. And you'll notice it looks the exact same. The nice thing is, though, that it has auto input and output and all that good stuff. A couple relays, too, because I don't know. Do like that. And we might actually add on the factory roof today, too. I'd like to get back up there pretty soon, because we've got bricks that have been building up. But I'm kind of spreading it around across a couple of our projects here. So MV wire connector, and then we're going to have to plug this thing up. And I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll have, let's see, relay. Let me get my wire. Which actually I just thought that improved blast furnace, we're going to have to come over by a couple to fit another one in here. That should be fine, though. It's just not going to be exactly centered, but that's okay. And I tell you what, this hemp crate, I'm going to go ahead and actually just bring this out like that. And we'll kind of fill this in, and we'll plot out where the other blast furnace would be. Because I'm thinking like a space between these, just so, you know, theoretically it can like suck in air and exhaust and all that. And then we'll have another 5x3 right here, so if we did it that way, it would come over to right here. Which I think that would be okay, and then that would leave space on the other side for our capacitor room for like power storage, and then of course that's going to come up and we're going to have more energy creation right there. And I think that would be alright. I do. The rest of this steel scaffolding, I'm going to go ahead and plot this out. And I'm not for sure if we'll have anything behind these or if it's just going to be like blast furnaces and then space. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll cross that bridge soon. And actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. Yeah, I have an idea. I have an idea. I have one. Right over here. Which, bear in mind, some of this wiring will get changed slightly as time goes on. Let me just use the rest of these scaffold blocks, just because. Let's see, we need power right there. What we're going to do, let's get a capacitor. And I can't remember if I have any extras made. I actually thought that was a scaffold block. That's why I jumped down there, because I was like, I'll land right on top of this. I don't think that I have any spare capacitors. I do not. Okay, so I want to make an MV capacitor. Lead, electrum, treated wood, redstone. Okay, I'm going to have to pop down here for that, but I think I can pull all that off. Oh, there we go. MV capacitor. And then let me get a little bit more of our relays real quick. Or not our relays, but our connectors. And our wire. Okay, so back up here, what we're going to do is we're going to have this MV capacitor, and we're going to have this thing setting right behind the blast furnaces. And this is kind of how I'm anticipating moving power out of a wall as well. Like if we want to pull power out of this factory, send it somewhere else, and then also the same thing can be said for other factory buildings and for our power systems. But we'll have the MV capacitor setting right there. We're going to right click this and say that it's output. Okay. And then what we're going to do, let's put a MV wire connector sitting right there. And then what we'll do is we'll pull the power up and we'll connect it, say, right into there. I think should be good. And then we can connect that up, connect that over to there, and connect that over to there. Now, I'm not for sure. I may end up sticking this on the ceiling. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to put the ceiling right here, or if I'm going to put it up a little bit for higher ceilings. I'm not 100% sure on that. Probably right above that brick line is what I'm thinking, is what I'm leaning towards. But we'll see. We shall see. The worst thing is I grab things. When I cross through here, I grab things. I grab all the things. Okay, we're going up the right way. So then right here, what we can do is we can take our engineer's hammer and right-click that to blue input and put our wire connector setting there. And then that can just connect over. And I'll tell you what, I'm probably going to put like a relay right there, because here soon I'm going to be changing over all the cabling, and there's a possibility that the next episode of Farming Valley or the one after might be speed building. And the reason being, I know I haven't done a speed build in a while, but I'm just going to be cleaning up around the factory. I'm going to be adding scaffolding stuff underneath the conveyors. I'm going to be redoing the wire so that it's not so messy. Like, that's one of the things that drives me insane, is all this wire just everywhere. So I want to rework that, but of course I needed the second floor before I could rework that. We will be doing a little bit of floor work in that speed build. I'm not for sure if it's going to be the next video or maybe the one after or something. Just kind of depends. Okay, so now these have power. You can see they have 8,000. If we look in here, this thing is just about filled up. And it's just going to act as kind of like a buffer, but it's mainly going to be there for transferring the power up to the floor in a nice, clean, concise method. And then, of course, we can use that relay to pump over to the additional blast furnace once we put that in. So, alright, so now what we can do is we can take and put our coal coke into here, and put our iron into here, and it's going to start making steel. And you'll notice it's a bit faster than the standard blast furnace. It is using up a little bit of power. It's not that much. I mean, it's nothing that our system can't handle. It's not doing anything over there. There we go. There's our first bit of steel and slag in our brand new improved blast furnace. Woo woo. Okay, and then, let's see, do we want to go ahead and add the auto input and output? And I'm thinking the answer is yes. I think so. But I think, well, like I said, I think I'm going to semi-automate it first, and then we'll fully automate it later. Now, if I recall, slag comes out the back, and steel comes out the front. And the input is the top, I think. It's been a while since I've used these. I think the last time that I actually used one was in my Direwolf series. Long, long ago. My Direwolf 1.10 series. So, okay. Yeah, steel comes out the front. Slag comes out the back. Input is the top. Okay. So what we're going to do is... Oh, I kind of wish I could just pump it all out the back. But That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is let's use a crate from Immersive Engineering, one of these wooden storage crates. Or we could go with a reinforced, which is just iron plates, and I think it looks better. It looks more factory-ish. So we'll do that, actually. So there's that, and then... Oh, oops, forgot to do that. There we go. Reinforced storage crate. These things are kind of nice. They look really good. And I don't think they, if I recall, they don't have any, yeah, they don't have increased storage space over like a standard crate, but they are reinforced. They're blast proof, or blast resistant at least. And we'll just put this down right there. So it's going to be able to pump the steel out to this reinforced storage crate. Because, I mean, I could do a vertical conveyor just like, but I don't really want to do that. I think I'm going to have it pump out the bottom of the crate, which actually, let me grab this. These things do retain their inventory, and they're great for mining trips. We'll put that back right there. I actually think I'm going to need it. Oh, wow. Oh, I had my slow fall on. Good thing. Okay, let's pop back down to... I think I'm going to do one on the back, too, and have it pump the slag out there. And then what we can do is we can have conveyors. Hopper, and then conveyor. Yeah, and then we'll kind of close in this floor slightly, I do believe, so that we can hide it away. And it'll kind of look like, almost like a chimney effect coming up out of this coke oven setup, I think is what we'll do. So let's pop over to the storage building again. Hard to believe I've never put a crafting table in this place. Like in this area. I need one. And then we'll have this one setting right there. So you can see the slag goes into that one. And we're getting steel built up. It's pretty quick, especially once we have the second one in there. It's going to be fast. Okay, so now that we've got that, I think the next thing I'm going to need is a couple hoppers. So we'll pop down. I'm going to go ahead and sleep because I do need the hunger. And I might have strawberries to harvest today, but I'm not for sure. I don't think so. And I shouldn't have anything else because literally like the past like 2 days before I started the episode, I had a ton of harvesting I had to do. But let me pop over there because, see, it's the 19th. I can't remember if we started the episode on the 17th or the 18th. I don't remember. Let me go see. Actually, I think we started on, yeah, I see strawberries. Okay. I'll be back once I get these things harvested. We are setting it over 500,000 right now. I'm probably going to take another vacation in the summer because the only thing that really stands out that I'm like, man, I'd like to buy that's really expensive at the moment. Because, I mean, there's a lot of vehicles that are expensive. But the major thing that we're going to be buying that's like $1 million gold is the stuff for soul shards. And I'm not even ready for that. I don't have an area to start setting up the soul shard stuff. I haven't actually started grinding up soul shards because it's for the cages. I don't need the cages until I have a soul shard ready to go, and I haven't even made any soul shards or started grinding soul shards. And those things are $1 million a piece, but I mean, we've got to fight the Wither and all that, which one of these days we'll get into that stuff. We've just been building away and stuff. So, anyways, I'll be back in a minute once I get this stuff taken care of. Okay, so what we'll do then for the auto output is put a hopper right there, and then we're going to put a hopper right there. And we're going to kind of hide this away, because this will be, the front of the coke oven will be right there. That's going to be perfect, because this thing, it'll be able to drop down onto a conveyor belt system. And then from there, what we can do is we can have it plug in to this line that comes out. Now, we will have to rework some of this down here once we start feeding coal coke automatically up to the blast furnaces. But for right now, I'm not going to worry about that right this second. I don't believe so. Because like I threw in coal, I mean, we've got coal coke being produced, and I can do the same thing up there for the materials. Let's see. How do we want to do this, though? I think... I don't know if I just want to do conveyors and have them come over and meet in the middle and then drop the items. I think that's what I want to do. Because that right there is going to be hidden. You're not going to be able to see that, so it's not... Because I'm just going to have conveyors dropping the stuff, I do believe. Okay, so our aim is right in here. Drop it down. And dropping conveyor should drop straight. So what we'll do, well, the only thing is, then I'm going to run into the issue of, right over here, this thing has, like, no space whatsoever. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change my mind, for starters. This area of the floor, underneath the control room, is going to be hidden slightly. It's going to kind of come down and connect in. So, yeah, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I hate going under this because I know I'm going to grab items. Instead, we'll have the conveyors come out, and they will come right over the top of this, and we can drop it down. I could drop it into here and have the bottler just send it, the bottling setup, send that or that steel and that slag out, which I think would be a-okay for us. And then the next one would be a dropping conveyor, and it would just drop it. Then I'd make it kind of open like a little chute. But it falls down right there. I think that would be good. Or chute, I don't know. I've heard it pronounced both ways, so we'll just go with it. Okay, so we'll have the dropping conveyor sitting right there. And then what we can do is right over here on this, on the red side, we're going to say you can pump out steel and slag. Because all these little setups, they're going to help each other like that. And then all we have to do is plug this stuff in. And we should see, there goes steel. Oh, you know what though? I did not. Let me pop down to the shipping building really, really quick. And let me pull off this. Okay, I need to put in steel, which I don't have a compacting drawer. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll put coal coke in. Alright, no, not coal coke. Whoops. We're going to put steel in right there. That's going to be a compacting drawer in a minute. And then we'll put slag right there. That's got to go. I've got to go get my key, which is over in the storage building. And the blacksmith might be open. I think he closes at 1700 hours, so I just missed it. Okay. Well, I just put a compacting drawer in there whenever I get a chance. I don't think I have one in the factory. I think I used the last one for coal coke. Got a drawer controller. Aha! Okay. Let's pop back down to the shipping building. And let's do a little bit of cleanup here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a compacting drawer with steel in it. Oh, is there not a steel block that we could make? A block of steel. Oh, we have to do it through the blast furnace, though. Looks like you can't craft it. Interesting. Interesting. So what we're going to do, let's actually move this over, and we'll grab... Oh, you know what? I set it up in the wrong direction. There we go. We'll have steel setting right there. And then this drawer, I'm just going to leave the drawer right there for right now. Or right, I don't know, right there. And let's lock in our steel real quick. So it is going to have a dedicated place to go, which is nice. And then, okay, now we're all situated. And I'll come back and grab that drawer in a minute. Okay, so that's good. That's good. We don't have any redstone control on this stuff at the moment, but that's fine. Let me go ahead and grab like 2 stacks of coal coke. And then we'll just pop up to the factory. And we'll get that running. And then in addition, I mean, that's going to ship everything down to our storage building. Like right now, I still have to take the coal coke. I have to take the iron. I have to dump it in. But what we're going to do is we are going to make a hopper just so I can dump in lots of it. I think that'll be good for right now. And I don't really think that we need... You know, I have that little semi-automated output, that chest for the coal coke. But I think this will be good for right now. The automated output, I think, is the main thing. Because that way I can just... It's going to come down to where it needs to go. And then we'll put a hopper up here so we can feed in like the iron and stuff. If I find that we need it, I can always do 2 hoppers. So I can dump in a lot of coal coke and a lot of iron and let it go. But I really don't think, I think 1 hopper is going to be more than enough for right now. So we'll just put that right there. And then we can dump in, you know, there's some coal coke, there's some iron. That's going to make quite a bit of steel, and you can see it's filling this up at the moment. And I think that'll be good. I do believe. Let me pop down. Let me go get some water real quick. Because I think our biggest problem before with steel was I get building and I forget things, like the animals and all the things that I need to be doing. And I'll forget to keep changing out that iron. And now with that set up there, we can kind of just like dump a bunch of stuff in there. It's going to get automatically pumped out to the shipping building, and then we'll have it whenever we're ready for it. And I think that'll be good. I think that'll work out well, and it looks nice. I mean, there's going to be a wall right here, but we'll have it, you know, glass so you can see out. You can see out there and see, like, you know, there's the blast furnace and everything. And I think it's going to look pretty nice. And then right over here, we'll have a capacitor area, which we already have a lot of RF storage right here, but I want to make one that, you know, kind of fits, that looks the part. So we'll have a little RF storage area, and then back behind that we'll have those thermoelectric setups continue on up, which I need to craft the rest of those. Especially, what was it holding us back before? Steel, right? Or was it Constantine? It was Constantine and steel. Okay. So now that we've got steel set up nicely, I can probably power through the rest of those, and then we'll have to bring them up, which isn't too bad, and then we'll do a power setup area. So anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so we are going to end it out here. Next episode, it may or may not be speed building, because I don't feel like it's going to be all that interesting to talk through the wiring, because we're really just going to be moving stuff. We are going to have to put a bottom section on a lot of this floor, which we'll do that as well. And we also need to bring all these factory block supports. We need to bring all these through and kind of follow them through for the rest of the build. So we'll do that stuff. Do the floor bottom, change up some of the wiring, and hopefully we should have enough steel coming in, and we should be able to finish out this flooring section minus the chisels and bits, because I do want to change out this wireframe, I think, to chisels and bits to make a nice staircase that kind of comes up, and then we'll have this nice scaffolding floor, and I think it's going to look a lot better from the bottom. So you can't actually see up through it, but I think it looks good. Yeah, I think I like it. If you could do something like finite like this and it was actually see-through, it wouldn't be too bad. I know the screens, actually in the past I have used this glass right here, the screen glass, and it works very, very well. But I think for our type factory, it's a little bit more rusty looking, and I think this floor looks better than a screen frame or screen glass. So, and then the nice thing is it's right above where these supports are, so some of the floor is not going to have like an underbelly part. It's mainly going to be around this section here and around that coke oven area. So we'll probably try to get that cleaned up soon as well. And then I've got to go through and clean up the cobblestone that is visible. So fun times. Very, very fun times. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. I know this episode is a day later than it was intended to be. That is due to some real life stuff going on, just a heads up, but I think it's going to be better in the long run. So a while back, and I'm going to go over this just really, really quickly, a while back we moved to this apartment building, and the apartment building was great. It was a lot quieter than the one we were at before. But around a little before Christmas of the past year, the neighbors downstairs got, I think it's a surround sound, or they got some really big speakers or something, and now it's really noisy throughout the day. So it's a bit noisy, or they were a little bit noisy on and off before, but now it's like like if they're just watching TV, I think. And anyways, that coupled with some other just noise factors, we have been looking at moving and actually just getting a house so we don't have neighbors above us or below us or, you know, anywhere. And that way I can actually have an office, dedicated office, so that I can record, even, you know, regardless of what's going on, I can like record or stream. I would like to start streaming again, possibly. So that's what's been going on. That's why this episode's a day later than intended, because we actually met with the realtor because we found a house that we really, really liked, and we had to go meet with the realtor and put in an offer and all that stuff. So, but anyways, just a heads up as to what's going on with that. The nice thing is it's going to be less a month as far as our payments go than rent is, and we're not just like dumping money into renting. It's going towards something, that eventually we won't have to pay on. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.